So Kensington Palace, the official residence of Prince Harry and Meghan, a very lavish castle / mini mansion in the heart of London, have released these publicity pictures showing Meghan Markle very much at home with these Islamist women. Just for the record, Meghan is a feminist. Most Islamic women are not. Meghan is pro-homosexuality and same-sex marriage, whereas most Islamic women are not. And these women and their children are victims of the Grenfell fire disaster, which took place in 2017. And to this date, a good number of the remains of those people that were caught in such an awful event have never been identified because they came into the UK illegally. And victims that survived that awful event, and here you can see them on screen, cooking, to bond, to come together, to heal, were given a blanket amnesty because the British government is liberal, spineless, weak, lacks principles and values, and of course when you reward evildoers or law breakers, you set an unhealthy precedent. So ask the question, why is Meghan associating with such people? Well, I think there's a couple of reasons. Number one, she has an affinity to such people. She feels at home with such people. She came from nothing, and now she has everything. And many times when people are very wealthy, like Meghan, thanks to the British civil list, which is really an upper-class welfare system, they want to ease their consciences. Also, in the UK, multiculturalism, diversity, equal opportunities is very popular, and those are the buzzwords that you hear from the so-called good and the great. But go back to a few months before Meghan married Harry. She would convert to the Church of England. She is now an Anglican. And yet you would think, as a new Christian, quote-unquote, she'd be very pleased, very happy that she's found the Lord Jesus Christ, and therefore why not witness to these Islamic women? Tell them about the Lord Jesus Christ. It never happens, of course. In this country, the majority always bow down to the minority. And you would have thought that the minority would be encouraged to diversify, to accept the will of the majority. This is still a Christian country, but unfortunately, people such as Meghan have no morals, no principles, no real beliefs. She only converted, of course, to please Harry. And unfortunately, Britain continues to welcome more and more foreigners into this country. But here's an article from The Independent, a left-wing newspaper, quoting the Dalai Lama, of all people, saying how Europe belongs to the Europeans and how foreigners, immigrants, are supposed to go back to their countries. Now, imagine if a white person said that. Imagine if a conservative Christian said such a thing. There'd be an absolute outcry. But the Dalai Lama can say it, and nobody says a word. And of course, Meghan's father-in-law is very pro the Dalai Lama, so it'll be interesting down the line to know what people think about his views. But I think one of the reasons why Meghan is very close to the Muslims is because she feels an affinity with them, like I say. And I also wonder, is she about to convert to Islam? A lot of people in the UK are falling over themselves to congratulate, to receive Muslims into the country. And we have no problem with people from different countries coming to the UK, but we have a problem with their cultures. And therefore, when we criticise Islam, we are criticising Islam as a religion, not a race. Islam is a religion, not a race. And therefore, when foreigners come into the UK, we would say this: leave your culture at the border. Leave your religion at the border. This is a Christian country. But don't expect Meghan to tell you that. Don't expect Harry to tell you that. Such members of the royal family, like I say, are unsaved and are simply existing, living thanks to the very British, very generous civil list underwritten by the British taxpayer. And of course, the British taxpayer was never once asked whether or not he was even happy to underwrite members of the royal family, who, as you can see, are very much at home with such minority people. And yes, of course, you would think that if Meghan and Harry really felt a connection, I mean a genuine connection with such people, don't lose sight that these pictures are publicity pictures to paint the princess in a positive light. But you would have thought surely that if they really felt a connection with such poor immigrants, many of which, like I say, are here illegally and should have been deported, why not open up Kensington Palace, that beautiful building in the heart of central London, and invite 5 or 6, 7 or 8, 9 or 10 Islamic families to move in with Harry and his new American wife. Never happens, of course. They will take your money and use your money to promote their pet beliefs, their pet loves. But when it comes to spending their own money, they won't do it. They will spend your money, once again, thanks to the very generous British taxpayer underwriting, supporting the civil list, which subsidises members of the royal family from the very top to the very bottom.